tops. Don't feel bad when I'm down, I'ma be okay. This red gon' come right back around and smack the BOA. Only the members gon' come round if you was down one. We go back like Tom Brady on a shotgun. Knew I was finna be great when I came out the wound. They hate that I'm a butterfly that came out that cocoon.
Today, I'm going to teach y'all how to drain and fill the transmission fluid in the S2000. As you can see, I already has it raised up. I'm going to show you how I raised it up and what you should do to raise up to be safe. It's the S2K. Hey, baby.
Hey, baby. Hey, baby. Hey, baby.
Got the S2K right here.
Hey, baby.
I ended up raising mine from the differential. Raise it up from there, but a jack it for to raise the car, not to hold the car. So once you get the car in the air, make sure you put jack stands on both sides. I put the jack stands right here. As you can see, it's a metal piece right along this, I guess not the frame, but right along the side right here, you'll find a metal piece. That's where you want to put the jack stands. You want to put them on both sides. And I still leave a jack under there for extra precaution, but the car is actually sitting on the jack stand. Once you get it in the air, look up under the car, locate the transmission. Now on the top bolt on the upper left hand corner, that's the fill bolt. The one at the bottom right, that's the drain bolt. First, what you want to do is drain it. All you have to do, get you a 3/8 ratchet, put it in that square and start unloosening. I'm gonna ratchet that. This is 3/8 ratchet. Don't put a socket on it. Just put this little, come on. There we go. Yeah, my camera don't want to focus, but just put that in that square opening and start to loosen. I always keep my handy dandy copper pipe to help out with leverage. If you have one, it's great to use. You ain't gotta bust your shoulder trying to get bolts loose. So just unloosen that lower one. Let all the fluid drain out, but before I loosen the lower one, I always try to get the top one off. Because if you can't get the top one off, there's no use to loosen the lower one. Because if you can't put fluid in the transmission, you want to roll on whatever you got in there until you can get that top bolt off. So if you can't get that top bolt off, please do not drain the fluid out. This is all you need to refill the transmission. It's recommended to use Pennzoil synchro mesh. There you go, synchro mesh Pennzoil. My wife drove all around town trying to find two of those. She couldn't find it, so I just settled with the Valvoline synchro mesh. You can mix the two. As you can see, MTF is manual transmission fluid. They're pretty much the same, but people say the Pennzoil is better. I'm not a chemist, so I couldn't tell you. Got that right. I used two. I mixed them. You can mix them, so if you're having the same problem as I had when I was trying to find the Pennzoil, you can mix them. So I'm gonna put these two in the transmission, and to make your life easier, you want to get a pump. And ain't nowhere in the world you could pour it in with that top right there from under the car, or even if you have it on a lift, it's hard. You want to get a pump. This pump was about $12 at O'Reilly, and what it does, it actually screws on top of the quart. It'll screw on a quart or a gallon jug, and you screw it on top, and you use this pump. That nigga crazy. It'll pump the fluid in. It made my life a whole lot easier. So let's get up under the car and get the fluid all up in there, bruh. Alright, so once you get it up in there, you want to take the container with the pump, put the pump in the top hole. That's the fill. Make sure you put the drain back in, because when you pump it in, if the drain ain't in, it'll leak out. So put it up at the top through that hole, and you want to pump. Make sure your car is raised up high enough to where you can get the bottle up under here, because there's holes that come with this pump. It's not that long. So you need to have the pump and the container up under the car. And then you just pump it. You push down and it'll raise up. Keep pumping until you empty this jug. You might not empty it completely, but just get as much of it out as you can. And whatever leftovers that's in there, you can add it to the next jug, because they take 2 of these, 2 quarts. So whatever's left over, you could just pour it in the next jug, continue to pump, get this bad boy filled up. All right, I wish I could show you this and do it in video at the same time, but I don't have no camera mount. But as you can see at the top right here, you got air. Then it go to fluid, and then over here towards the transmission, same thing, in air and then there's fluid. That means this container is pretty much empty. You can fill it in a container anyway, it get lighter as you pump it out. But once you start pumping and you start pumping air and fluid, then you know this bottle is pretty much empty. Time to move on to the next one.
No shit.
All right, we all done. I got both of the bolts back in. I just want to remind you, while you pumping the fluid in at that top hole, that's the fill hole, the lower one is the drain hole. As you pump it in, once the transmission get full, it will come back out through the fill hole. As you can see the where it's dripping underneath right there, and it's running up to the fuel hole. It said it's supposed to take like 1 quart. It's like 1.8, so pretty much 2 quarts. But if you go to put the whole 2 quarts in, but yet it start to come out before the 2 quarts is completely inside the transmission, it's full. You can stop. Put the fuel plug back in, and you all done. So if it starts to come out through the fuel hole, that's normal. Don't worry about it. So this is all wrapped up. I'm gonna just torque these 2 bolts down, make sure they tight, clean the bottom of the transmission, and this job is all done, play.